Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And guys, if you bet this game, that means you have to watch it. It is 5.5-point favorites. The Steelers over the Seahawks, 42.5 your total. And yes, this is the Geno Smith era that we have begun here with the Seattle Seahawks. On the Steelers side of things, Juju Smith-Schuster has surgery. He's out for the rest of the season. Steven, I'll start with you on this one as well. Look, Geno Smith under center, no Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't know, maybe Najee Harris props or something like that in this. I mean, if anything, he picks up a couple more looks a game, something. But whatever. The bookmakers put this in that 5.5 range because they don't know what to do with it either. It's sitting in that no man's land of 5.5. So I don't really have any interest in this one at all.
Me neither. I have zero interest in this game. In fact, after a couple of very late Sunday nights, especially with a weather delay last week, this East Coast dad is going to be very happy to go to sleep early and not even worry about Geno Smith and Ben Roethlisberger on Sunday Night Football. So no thank you on this one. I think that the line is appropriate. I think it's fair. I think a full week of practice should help Geno. At least a little more perspective here. I talked to a trader at BetMGM, Christian Cipollini, earlier this week, who told us that Russell Wilson is worth more to the line for the Seahawks than most every other quarterback in the NFL, with maybe the exception of Patrick Mahomes. I mean, this line moves 7.5 points from the look ahead. And I think a lot of other quarterbacks, we've already seen a couple this year worth far less than that. Some other upper echelon, you maybe see it move 6 points, but 7.5 shows you how significant Russell Wilson is to this offense. On top of that, the defense has been pretty brutal. So can Ben Roethlisberger and what's left of his career take advantage of that after looking improved last week? Perhaps, but I really don't want to be in the business of betting on outlier Ben Roethlisberger performances at this point in his career. So this is a stay away for me.
Brad, I have no idea what time Sunday Night Football happens over there with you, but I can only imagine you'll be very, very happy to go ahead and just go to bed and not stay up for this one.
Yes, it kicks off about 1:30 a.m, so I will not be up for this one. I might have a bet on it, though, if the Seahawks get to 6, though.
All right.
Because two things. I think, first of all, it might be a bit of an exhale spot for the Steelers, right? So they're home underdogs to the Broncos last week. Big underdogs the week before that at the Packers. And now suddenly they're big favourites at home against a backup quarterback. And we know the history of the Tomlin Steelers. He's great getting them fired up, getting them rah-rah going for an underdog role. But they can just sort of sleepwalk through a game where they're meant to be favourites. And then the other side of this is that Geno Smith might not be bad, right? He hasn't really had a crack at starting for 6 years, I think, 2014. He came out, led him on that 98-yard drive last week. He wasn't really at fault for the interception that ended the game. There was a trip on Lockett. And you go back and you look at his stats back in the day, and they were fine. They weren't bad. His teammates have been saying all week like how hard he works, how he's ready for this. So I think he might be better than the market's giving credit for, because what's this game if Russ is playing? Seahawks are probably favoured by a couple, I would have thought. It may be the biggest downgrade in the league, but is it the full 7 points or so? I don't know. That does seem a lot to what looked like a competent quarterback last week.
Yeah, I mean, listen, here the one thing that we've been talking about is this defense for Pittsburgh has not been performing up to what we thought they were going to be this year, specifically on the pressure rate and different things like that isn't like super elite. It is up there at least, but it's not like super elite. Look, I think Geno Smith could certainly put some points on the board in this thing. I think he could move the ball against Pittsburgh if he's not just running for his life the whole time. So, let's see if the thing gets up to 6, and maybe we'll throw in a little bet for funsies there.
Give me a plus 7.5 on the live. If we get early in this game, and give me a plus 7.5 live, I'd be in on that on Seattle. I mean, the Steelers defense is 27th in PFF pass defense grade, and Geno Smith still has Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf to throw to, so I'd be in on that.